Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back. And it's almost interesting today. I'm about to talk about Marvel in Crisis, and it feels like the last few weeks, a lot of us have actually talked about what Marvel is going through and what the hell, And I'm getting tired of hitting on the same point. I talked about how Captain America: Brave New World. It's funny because I actually oversold it. I think I said it barely did 380 million. They just ended their theatrical run, barely doing 340 million globally. I mean, that absolutely sucks. And it sucks because I absolutely like Anthony Mackie. I mean, all through the Infinity Saga, right? Him being the Falcon. I mean, we absolutely loved his character. I don't think there was any version of him in any movie that we saw in the Infinity Saga. Even with the Winter Soldier and the Falcon, the series, we all loved him in that version. And then obviously at the end of Endgame, he is adorned the Captain America shield by Captain America, Steve Rogers, which obviously it opened the door for him to be Captain America. And then with him and the Winter Soldier in the series, you could see that they actually did a really good job capturing how he struggled with the idea of him being Captain America, right? He struggled with it. He gave up the shield, ended up getting it back, because he had to really feel like he didn't want it to feel, it's like he didn't want to feel cheated, or he didn't want people, the world, to feel cheated because he didn't like the idea of just being adorned Captain America. He wanted to earn it. He wanted to pay homage to it. So when we found out that they were actually going to do a movie, I was thrilled because I thought that they would actually do a good job, because I thought Marvel had learned. And then when I saw the movie, I talked about how I liked the movie, but I also talked about how I could tell that this movie, they did a bad job telling the story. Because every time a fan hears reshoots, what comes to your mind? Well, they've showed the movie to a test screen, right? People didn't like it. So they did a bunch of reshoots, and then they come to tell us that this movie had a budget of 180 million. Come on now. So you obviously, walking into that movie, you did not really have a lot of confidence in the movie, because I'm telling you, from a fan's perspective, especially if this is a really important character, when fans hear reshoots, it triggers that little thing that says they don't have confidence in what they're doing. The results tell you. And it's sad because I don't know, because he's supposed to be in this multiverse saga that they're actually building. Are they really going to? I don't know, because now, think about it. If you're Marvel and Disney, your fan base is telling you, dude, you are dropping the ball. And how much longer are they going to... Listen, Marvel fans, DC fans, they're not fickle fans. They're diehard fans. A lot of these fans love certain characters, absolutely love them. You're trying to tell a new story. You're trying to move in a new direction. You're trying to build a new Avengers. So you would think you would do everything possible to ingratiate these characters. Find good writers, find... The box office numbers tell you. They don't lie. And then now, again, this is Disney and Marvel. I'm digging at both because Disney owns Marvel. Snow White is coming out. this month. And wouldn't you know it? One thing that studios do is they go around the world, right? Having, what do they call them? Premieres. Because they want to showcase. And then they want this really huge opening weekend. The way to do that, if you remember what Aquaman did, the director, I don't remember his name. They opened in China. I think he is Chinese, if I'm not wrong. The director for Aquaman. 1 week before it hit America, it already made $300 million. Think about that opening weekend. That movie went on to do over $1 billion. See, that's what these studios like. So as they're doing their runs right now, they decided that they're going to bypass certain places because they're afraid the wokeness that they've actually added into Snow White. And if you don't know the story, I talked about it. You can find it on YouTube, how Rachel Ziegler, she talked about they're doing a different Snow White, that this version of Snow White doesn't need to be saved by a man, right? What do you mean? When I tell you the fan base went crazy over this. So now they've chosen not to have a premiere in the UK, in London, among other cities, because of everything that... See, Disney and Marvel, you're laying a foundation of box office flops. I'm telling you, do you know how... And this is after we just saw Daredevil. So, Daredevil might save Disney, the network. Maybe not, not the entire corporation. Definitely not Marvel. Because, Daredevil, it looks like a show that's actually going to do well. The ratings are outstanding. But I'm sick and tired of talking about Disney and Marvel. And I'm telling you, Disney, you're going to lose a fan base. You are absolutely going to lose a fan base. And I'm telling you, it's going to be hard to get them back. It really is. Trust me. DC right now is really struggling because of what we went through as a fan base. I'm a huge DC fan, obviously, you know that. But ever since Wonder Woman 1984, trash. Black Adam, trash. The Flash, absolute garbage. The Joker sequel, absolute nonsense. So they're scrambling to reinvigorate the fan base. Disney and Marvel, you had an opportunity here. And Captain America Brave New World was not woke. It had certain, you could nitpick and say, yes, there are certain instances and whatever is that, no. Snow White is absolutely, I've said this before and I always try to make this point. I have no problem with being woke, with being, progressive. And I have a problem when you're really, really trying to push an agenda into something that doesn't necessarily need it. You don't need to input your biasness, your own beliefs into something that was, into source material, into content that doesn't need it. It doesn't even have it. It didn't have it in the comics. It doesn't have it in the story. There was no reason for them, like Rachel Ziegler, to come out and say, this is where we're going. You thought that would make fans go, yes. Fans of these characters, Snow White, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, they're fans, they're fanatics. These are millennials, some are absolutely. You have, is it Gen X that came before millennials? And the baby boomers who grew up with these cartoons initially. So you have 3 or 4 generations that will go watch these movies. And then you've just alienated them. Because this is how things get passed down. I can't wait to have children and pass on my love for comics. And hopefully they, again, I'm not going to force them, but I will pass it on. This is what I like. This is what I enjoy. And maybe they like them too. And oftentimes they do. But when you do stuff like this, Disney, you're losing your fan base. And you can't blame us for not wanting to spend our hard-earned money on stuff that we know and we see will not be entertaining to us. So yeah, Marvel and Disney, they're in crisis right now. Crisis management, I don't know what they're doing. They need a different kind of PR. Anyway, that's what's happening in Disney and Marvel. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you a fan of, are you looking forward to seeing Snow White? I honestly, I wouldn't even lie. I'm not going to go see it. I would love to say I would, but I'm not. But anyway, I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.